In the Premier League matches against Bournemouth, Liverpool, West Ham and Aston Villa, United have lost the first contact on 13 out of 26 corners. It's clear that the rest of the league have identified weaknesses in United's setup from corners and are exploiting this in different ways. So what are United's weaknesses and how are teams looking to exploit them? First, we need to look at how United set up when defending corners. They combine zonal marking, which is split into 3 zones, with man-to-man marking. Fernandes zonal marks the near post area, but in this game it was Mainu with Fernandes out. The central zone is United's strongest zone because it contains United's 3 best headers of the ball on the day. And then the back post zone is occupied by Dalot. And finally, we have United's man-to-man zone, which will pick up any players outside of the zonal area. In this setup, there are 3 weak areas teams are exploiting. The pocket of space just outside of the near post zonal marking area, the pocket of space just outside of the back post zonal marking area, and the back post zonal area Dalot occupies. Starting with the front post and back post pockets, why are teams consistently putting crosses into these areas? Firstly, these 2 pockets are the closest areas to goal outside of United's zonal marking. Therefore, it's just inside United's man-for-man zone and teams are able to create mismatches. Also, these near and far post pockets are away from United's central zone, which contains United's best headers of the ball, and putting the ball in these areas takes them out of the game. Starting with the Liverpool game, we can see they have only committed 2 players to United's zonal marking before the ball was kicked. Tactically, Klopp did this to create mismatches in United's man-to-man marking zone. But before I demonstrate the weaknesses, I want to show why teams stay away from United's central zone. This corner is aiming for Van Dijk in the back post pocket, but the corner doesn't quite clear the central area and Varane wins the header. And the same happens with this corner that also didn't quite clear the central zone and Varane wins another header. But when Liverpool got it right, this happened. Trent's cross has cleared United's central zonal marking into the back post pocket, into United's man marking zone, and as a result, Liverpool have this Van Dijk-Shaw mismatch and Van Dijk wins the header. From this corner, Trent finds an area that is a bit more central, but enough to clear Varane, and with Shaw marking Van Dijk wins the header. Trent gets the ball into this back post pocket again, and this time Konate wins the header with Shaw marking him. I don't know how Shaw ended up marking Konate and Van Dijk. Gary Neville said in commentary for this game that he was surprised Liverpool didn't get players around Onana and put the ball in that area. But doing that is putting the ball into an area where United have all their best headers. So tactically, from the opposition's perspective, this doesn't make sense. Now moving on to the Bournemouth game, straight away we can see how different their approach was. Unlike Liverpool, they have put players in and around United's zonal marking. I'll go into why Bournemouth did that for their 3rd goal. The corner is going into the near post pocket, which Zabarnyi will attack. At this point, Reguilon is man marking him. The corner is played and Zabarnyi wins the header, but look at where Reguilon is at the point the header is won. In this situation, Bournemouth have aimed for the front post pocket again. The pictures are blurry, but Shaw is man marking Solanke, a massive mismatch, and although Shaw tracks and jumps with Solanke, it's no contest and Solanke wins the header. Now moving on to Bournemouth's 3rd goal, and why Bournemouth committed numbers to United's zonal marking area. If you think back to the 2 headers Varane won against Liverpool, with Liverpool not committing numbers to the zonal area, that allowed Varane to drop out of the zonal area and win those headers. Bournemouth have put players into the 6-yard box to hold United's zonal markers to stop that from happening. McTominay is occupied by Solanke, Maguire is occupied by Billing, and Højlund is occupied by Christie. As Senesi wins the header, it seems that Maguire has lost him, but as we just saw, Senesi wasn't his man, but Billing did his job by holding Maguire in the zonal marking area long enough to stop Maguire getting out and competing for that header. In addition, Bournemouth left 2 players on the edge of the box, which pulled Anthony and Garnacho out. This was to reduce the traffic in the box, to give Bournemouth's danger men the space to operate. Very clever tactics. This is against West Ham, and Ward-Prowse is going for that back post area. In this situation, there isn't a mismatch between Bowen and Anthony. It's just really poor defending, and we lose the header. Against Villa, another corner into that back post zone, and Carlos wins a header unmarked and should have done better. Now moving on to the 3rd weakness, and that is United's back post zonal marking. On every corner, as soon as the ball is in the air, Dalot moves back to the post, which opens up this area. In this situation, we can see how much space one of the best players in the world has in our box. This was a cheeky near post corner by Liverpool to get the flick on into this space, but it doesn't go to plan. But we also saw Villa exploit this area for their 2nd second goal. Although Villa know Dalot is there to mark the post, Villa have put Ramsey on him as an insurance to hold him because Villa want to put the ball into this area. Longley is about to make this run into the space created by Dalot, dropping back onto the post. When he gets there, he is unmarked because Mainu slipped, but even if Mainu stayed on his feet, he's got no chance of winning a header against Longley. Going back to the Bournemouth third goal, they also manipulated this weakness to get Senesi unmarked. Now, we can see that Senesi and Sinistera are on the back post with Amrabat and Dalot, so it looks like a straightforward 2-on-2. But Bournemouth know Dalot is there to mark the post and not a player, so it's actually a 2-on-1 and a bit of movement from Senesi gets him free. The Devils' verdict is, United lack both height and heading ability in the man-to-man marking zone, so how should Ten Hag remedy this? This is revolutionary and never been seen before. Ditch the zonal marking and man mark everyone. I know, crazy. This would prevent the mismatches that we saw in the examples and ensure that Maguire marks Solanke and Varane marks Van Dijk. In addition to this, Dalot is good in the air and Fernandes is not bad also. So why doesn't Ten Hag put Shaw on the front post and Anthony on the back post and put Fernandes and Dalot in the man-to-man marking zone? His setup is one thing, but who does what is on another level. Fernandes is done so many favours by Ten Hag it's untrue. Nice easy job at the near post. Ultimately, this is something that opposition teams have spotted and will continue to pummel, and I only see United conceding more goals from corners and set pieces in general. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.